Welcome to Construction Project Management, to this segment, and we are still with Ken Ramsey of Leicester, Charleston, Leicester Buildings, Charleston, Illinois. And I'm going to ask you, Ken, management can make or break a project. What is successful? Nobody wants to be a failure. What
Right.
is successful project management in your...
Well, successful project management, you have, and it depends on who all is involved. I was looking at this project here. Tires Plus approached Leicester.
This is Award of Excellence.
Yes, we award our builders based on the types of projects and what they may have different features of the buildings. The builder would submit that. In this case, this project was in Iowa. The builder has come together with this is an actual case where the Tires Plus company has franchises all across the country, and what they were looking for was the ability to have have a consistency in price and a consistency in materials, so that when they talk to a potential franchisee, they could say, this is your budget that you're going to need for an investment on a building. And so in this case, Leicester works with a project manager that is employed at Tires Plus. And then when they find someone that wants to franchise one of these projects, if we have we bring in a local builder that is a Leicester builder, and there will be an area sales manager that basically is contacted, that works for Leicester, that is contacted, and he kind of makes sure that the local builder can handle the project. And then there's still the architect that Tires Plus is hired to come up with the life safety issues, the entry and exits, fire safety, and those things. As you put that all together, communication is just simply the key to do that. And if you have somebody that's identified as a project manager, everybody pretty much focuses in on him or her to say, okay, they're the ones that are going to know who's all in what and whose responsibility starts at what point and ends at what point. They're the ones that are going to know if the change the builder wants fits the picture, the concept that the architect had fits the function of Tires Plus. And so communication is the key. And along with communication there, you then also have to be accessible. People are going to be less likely to ask, once you've identified who that project manager is, people are going to be less likely to try and find him, that project manager, if they can't get a hold of him. So cell phone numbers, email, pager numbers, office phone, if it's a big enough project and gets far enough behind home phone, fax numbers, all that gets put together and all that gets communicated to all the principals involved. And so if they're accessible, where somebody is going to call up that question and they can find them on one of those phones right there while they're sitting out in the field wondering what to do, or while we're waiting back here to decide, does it need, what was that snow? We see a discrepancy, which way do we go? Once that project manager is accessible, he has to have some knowledge. They've got, it's a little hard, you get a little overwhelmed, I think, when you first start off in the industry, just because there are so many different things to know. Yeah. And then so you ask a lot of questions, and some people ask you questions, and if you don't know, the best thing you got to do is say, I'm going to have to find out. That's a lot better than guessing wrong. Yeah. So you get your communication.
Suppose a project manager guessed wrong. Would he be penalized or fired? Or?
I suppose that depends on the company. Probably depends on the company. Probably depends on the mistake. And it probably depends on when it can be caught. I know the first company I worked for, I was hired partially as a project. They called it project coordinator, and also to do some of the engineering. And so there, the initial project, if there was, forget what it was. It was, you had the item, and the foreman told me, yeah, we've always done it this way, and so I took his word for it, and I said, okay. And I got back to the office, talked to the owner. No, we don't want it done in that case, because the owner saw a different feature on a competitor's building and wanted that feature in this building.
Okay.
So we've got to get that changed. Well, the foreman was a pretty good foreman. He'd been around for 20 years, and he just had not, he didn't need to know that. We had not communicated that change because it had not come through me, because I had not communicated the change to him. So that was basically some rework was involved. The next day they took it out and put it in the way it was supposed to be done. Those are kind of, I think most owners are going to realize that those kind of things can happen for somebody that's new to the industry. And the fact that it was an issue where we had talked about it with the foreman in the afternoon, we got back to the office at the end of the day and talked to the owner. You kind of knew that there was something you needed to get followed up on. Whereas if you did something, didn't ask that question, and it went all the way through to the final project, all the way down to the punch list, all the way down to ready for the final payment, and suddenly that meant some major rework and a profitable project no longer is profitable, then there might be some problems. Especially if it's the first mistake is probably not too bad. A repeatable series of mistakes gets a little nervous.
That's not good.
But yeah, and to some extent, the project, as far as the project management has to go, is somebody does have to be identified as the one that's going to be the one who's going to say this is the way it's supposed to be. If you have one person, like in this project, we had the column, this tower, switched from one end to the other.
Mm-hmm.
And so the architect had it on his plans on this corner, and the owner and the builder had known it, of the franchisee had known it to be this corner.
Okay.
So you have to identify, is it who gets the responsibility to do that? Is it the project manager at Tires Plus? Is it the architect? Is it the owner? Is it the franchisee?
Mm-hmm.
And so you identify that up front, generally before the project gets sold or as it's getting sold. Who is the primary contact? Who is the guy that has the final say?
Yeah.
This is the way it's going to be.
Okay, let me go back to this project manager traits or attributes. You are here. You want to hire a project manager. What are the 3 or 4 primary things that you want to have in your project manager?